Life ain't always peachy keen and hunky-dory. It's not always unicorns and rainbows. And I hate that I know it, but it's not always a Disney movie. Life is real, and when we go back into the story of the Megillah, when we get back to Shushan, and you really go through the politics as an adult, and we don't rely on the prior knowledge of us, how we learned the Purim story as kids, that it was a happily ever after, you see an entirely different Megillas Esther. Mordechai, was he beloved by all? It might not be the case. The Jewish people, they went to the Sudas Achashverosh. They were Nenem Sudas Achashverosh. It wasn't prohibited. There was no non-kosher food. The music was a little bit raucous, but it wasn't so bad. It wasn't prohibited. When Haman would walk through the streets saying, "Bow down to me," there was no real avodah zarah, maybe a little action figure on his neck, and he's just a weird, But Mordechai said, "Lo yichra velo yishtachave." Mordechai did not budge. He would not bow down. And when it came to the party, Mordechai cautioned, "Don't go to the party." But yet, Mordechai's advice fell on deaf ears. And what happened? When Mordechai decided to keep to what he believed in and not to bow down, the whole thing flipped. Haman said, because of Mordechai, everyone is to be decreed and put to death. You can imagine, when you get into the politics, what that would be like to be the one single rabbi that caused the whole community, the whole world, all the Jewish population to be put to death. Well, I think there was actually Jews outside, not in Persia at that time, but you can imagine the inner turmoil he was going through. And even at the end of the Megillah, we have Ki Mordechai Yehudi Mishan LaMelech Achashverosh. When you think it was a happily ever after, V'ratzu l'Rav Echav, and he was beloved. When you read a pasuk and you really medactic it, you find he wasn't totally beloved by all. Even Mordechai, when he finally was crowned the hero, it was Ratzu l'Rov. He was only beloved by most Echav. It's one of the last pasukim in the entire Megillah. It's the last pasuk. Rov people liked him, but ultimately he was kind of on his lonesome. The Maral Diskin cautions that if everybody loves what you are saying, if everybody agrees, then as a Jewish leader you have to caution yourself. See, as Kol B'nai Yisrael came to Aaron HaKohen's Levaya, to his funeral, because he always sought shalom. But as a leader, as Moshe Rabbeinu, many people, as Rashi tells us at the end of the Torah, didn't come to his Levaya. Because a Jewish leader needs to stand up for what he believes in, which is what is Ratzon Hashem. He needs to shout down people like Korach, and he needs to stand up for what's correct, even though it's not always attractive. That's why we still celebrate Mordechai Hatzaddik. We are all Jewish leaders at some capacity. And if everybody loves you, and everyone thinks that you are saying what's right and what's proper, and everybody wants to give you a big hug, you might have to rethink it. But Mordechai Hatzaddik, who was Ratzu l'Roiv Banav, he stood up for what he believed in, and Lo Yichra V'Lo Yishtachave is what we still celebrate today.